Check, 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 check. All right, we're going from the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. We'll give people a few more seconds to come on in. Then we're going to talk about this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 2, interesting week. Oh, man. I mean, it didn't look like it was going to be a great week going into it, but some of the games ended up being better than expected. A little bit more interesting than I thought going into it. Hey, Daniel Berry, what's up? That's right. Eagles got KC's number. That is right. That's right. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. I got the one armor on this one. That's right. That's right. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you had a great Sunday. I hope you enjoyed some NFL football. Right now, we got the Falcons and the Vikings going on. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what the score is of that one. But hopefully that ends up being a decent game, because I know we had a few decent games. Giants-Cowboys ended up being a pretty good game, actually. I ain't got to admit. And Brandon Aubrey, I got to give credit. The one Cowboys player I'm actually cheering for this season to play good, being that he's my fantasy league kicker. But crazy enough, he delivered over 20 points. He was my best offensive player. I can't believe I'm saying that, bro. I cannot believe. As a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm coming on here praising a Dallas Cowboys kicker for giving me fantasy points. Bro. And not to mention, he's the best offense on my fantasy. But I ain't gonna lie, Brandon Aubrey's an amazing kicker. The Cowboys found themselves a gem at kicker. I'll give them that. And to be fair, Giants put up a good fight. I'll give him that. Russell Wilson looks decent. He showed he still has something left in the tank. Even though he's not prime Russell Wilson, he can still have his moments where he flashes brilliance and has good games. So I'll give Russell Wilson that. But you know eventually the Giants are going to switch to Jackson Dart. You know that's the long-term plan. Similar to what happened with Eli and Daniel Jones, or similar to what happened when they brought in Kurt Warner to help Eli's rookie season. But for now, I'll give them credit, though. We did have ourselves a pretty good game between the Giants and Cowboys. And hey, Brandon Aubrey did his thing. I'll give him props on that. So props to Brandon Aubrey. And, you know, hey, credit to both teams for playing a good game. I'll give them that. And that helped as the warm-up for my team's Super Bowl rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs. Talk about the Eagles game. Eagles won 20-17 in a close game. But yeah, so it was a close game. I mean, I didn't expect a repeat of the Super Bowl where we kicked their ass nonstop like we did in the Super Bowl, but we got ourselves a pretty good game. Hey, what's up? What's up, Cars and Popcorn? Jezreel, if I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for stopping by in the chat. I appreciate it. Talk about the Eagles football game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and guess what? We pretty much own Kansas City. We've beaten them 3 straight seasons between regular season and Super Bowl in some way, shape, or form. We beat them 2023 in the regular season, 2025 in the regular season, 2024. Eagles fan, bro. So technically, I'll just say I was a Packers fan Thursday night while they were playing against my division rival. We'll say that. But I got to give the Packers props, though. They got themselves a really good team, man. I give them that. That's right. Yes, sir, Eagles fan. I mean, hey, if Jordan Love can have himself a good season, if he continues to do what he's been doing so far, those Packers could be in contention. I'll give him that. But then again, the Detroit Lions look like they got right back in the mix today with the ass whooping of the Chicago Bears, so... But like I said, it's only week 2. We got to play it 1 week at a time. So we're going to have to see, though. But the Packers look really good with that new defense. You got Micah Parsons, the best pass rusher in the NFL now, part of your defense. We already got Rashawn Gary and Jair Alexander, 2 of the top defensive players in the NFC as well. So you got yourselves a really good defense now. And man, yeah, it's still early in the season. We're going to see how it plays out. Have y'all went against Chargers? Now, we play the Chargers later in the season, so We're going to see how it looks when we go against the Chargers later on. And it's going to be at SoFi Stadium, so let's see how many Eagles fans pack the stadium for that one. Because, hey, with all due respect to the Chargers, usually those Rome games get packed with the away team's fans. Yep, and we did that today, and we took care of business against Kansas City. Particularly our defense did its thing. We got Jalen Carter back, so our pass rush was much more efficient in this one. That was the key. We missed Jalen Carter week 1 due to that spit, which, granted, to be fair, Dak did play a role in that too, but at the same time, even as an Eagles fan, I say, Jalen, you got it. I know he spit at the ground, but you can't spit on him back. I understand talking trash and all that, but you got to control yourself. But fortunately, we got Jalen Carter back. The pass rush was much more efficient, and they got it done. 49ers beat the Saints. Kind of a competitive game. I mean, hey, but a win's a win for the Niners. They're 2-0. And that's right, Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs, undefeated. That's right. Now, as far as this game goes, the offense goes, offense was good enough to get the job done. Jalen Hurts again, but he did have that fumble early on. Fortunately, it was recovered by the Eagles, so we didn't have a turnover off of it. But, I mean, I don't know. But, it happens, though. I'm not going to hold that one fumble against Hurts. Even the best players make their mistakes. Like, mistakes here and there I can forgive. It's part of football. But as long as we get the W and he didn't make any foolish mistakes that cost us the game, which they did not, it's all set. We still converted when we needed to on third down. We got in the end zone with Hurts. Saquon got in the end zone as well. Makuba got an interception flashing his potential. He's another guy that could get better as the season goes along. And that defense really helped us out because the offense, while they were able to move the ball, we only got 20 points. Yep. Jerome Brown. That's right. Defense did its thing today. That's right. I'm on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, so you might occasionally hear some people. I think Travis was thinking about Taylor Swift. Well, to be real with you, ever since they got together, he hasn't had the best. He hasn't played as great. But to be fair, though, Travis Kelce still has a ton of money. He has multiple rings. He's about to get married to a superstar pop singer, so I can't knock him personally. And plus, he's still one of the best tight ends to ever do it, so I'll give him props. But yeah, I do think ever since Taylor Swift came into his life, he's been more focused on her than he has football. So yeah, that's the comment of the day. Good one, I love it. Yeah, I mean, yes, well, he did have a few plays against us. He did, I'll give him that. But ultimately, he ain't been the same elite player on the field. That does play a role, I mean. And that defense, like I said, that pass rush with Jalen Carter was much more efficient. We only got 1 sack, but the pass rush was able to be consistent throughout the game, and we were able to put pressure on Mahomes, force him to make mistakes, force him to make some short throws, and ultimately, guess what? It worked out in our favor. We held him to 17 points. We even got an interception from our rookie, Makuba, which played a big role in the outcome of this game. So guess what? Ultimately, all the defense did its thing. The offense, like I said, I would have liked to have seen more points from the offense. We did get a few long drives. We converted on some of those drives we needed to. We scored enough points, but I really wish we would have got some more points on offense. But it is early in the season. My only thing is I'm hoping we're not at the point in October where we're still winning a lot of close games but having question marks. Because they say we're 5-0 but winning a lot of sloppy games. That just feels like 2023 all over again. But so hopefully we don't get to that point, but it's still early in the season. Remember last year we kind of got off to a sluggish start. We had that 2-2, but then we got hot afterward. Eagles, baby. Yep. That's right. Best time to be a fan of my team. That's right. Eagles are taking over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let me tell you, you're a Vikings fan. You what? So you watching the game right now? I'm just wondering out of curiosity because I haven't been following the game. So I'm sitting out here on the boardwalk doing this live for you guys. So I'm just curious. If you have a score update, I would like to know what the score is. Because that's where we got the Vikings and Falcons going on live right now on Sunday Night Football. I was actually surprised our game didn't get put into the Sunday night slot, considering it was a Super Bowl rematch. But I guess because we played Week 1 prime time, they wanted to do an afternoon game. But hey, it is what it is. Either way, Eagles Kansas City. Now, it wasn't the most offensively artistic game in the world. We had a few other games, like I said, Cowboys, Giants, and even the Colts and Broncos. I picked the Colts in that one. And freaking the special teams deliver. 9-3 Falcons. Well, it's still early in the game, though. It's still early. I'll give you Royce time to come back, because remember last week you started off kind of slow against Chicago, but you got going in the second half. So I'm not counting you out just yet. I would say be patient and give it some time. You guys might have a shot at turning. You guys should be able to turn around if you do that. Oh, so you're going into the half. I got you. But yep. Hey, like I said, there's always the second half. That's where you turned it around last week. So I'll give you guys a chance this time around as well. And now, as far as the Eagles go, man, I just wish the offense was a little more efficient. Jalen Hurts, they did what he needed to do. He didn't have the greatest stats, but they find ways to win. And that's ultimately what it's about. It's a team sport. It's not about having the best stats. It's ultimately about winning games. You take a guy like a Jalen Hurts, who some usually saves his best for the playoffs. And then you get a guy like Dak Prescott, who puts up amazing regular season stats. And in his own right, Dak is a good regular season quarterback. I will not take that away from him. But similar to the previous Cowboys starter, Tony Romo, they're both good regular season quarterbacks. But come playoff time, when the pressure rises, they both fold. But then you get a guy like Jalen Hurts, my team's quarterback, who doesn't have the greatest stats in the world. But when it matters, they find ways to win, and then when it matters most in the playoffs, they save their best. Ironically, that's actually similar to Troy Aikman from the 90s Cowboys teams who helped them win 3 Super Bowls. Aikman didn't have the greatest regular season stats in the world, but come playoff time when it mattered most, guess what happened? Troy Aikman stepped up, and ironically, I see that in my team's quarterback currently with Jalen Hurts. Because he started in 2 Super Bowls. Even the one we lost, he still had a good performance and kept the Eagles in that game in Super Bowl 57. Then Super Bowl 59, he balled out. It was good enough for the win, and he got the MVP. So I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts at all. I'm not worried about the stats. I'm worried about the wins. Jalen Hurts, like I said, 2 Super Bowl starts, an MVP under his belt in the Super Bowl. And even the one we lost, he still had a good performance and kept us in the game. So I'm not worried. And plus, we're still 2-0. We still got the right pieces here. Like I said, I'm hoping we're not at week 5, week 6, where we're winning a bunch of ugly games. I hope by that point we're winning and playing better as a whole. But this is early in the season. I'll give it time. And like I said, the defense did its job today. They got to Mahomes. They got a pick on him. They held him to under 20 points. But at the same time, there is going to be an asterisk on it. No Xavier Worthy. No Rashid Rice. So we had the privilege of going against the short-handed Kansas City offense. So that did help us out too. So we got to acknowledge that. That's why I was So while it was good enough here, I'm still hoping that the offense, that's why I want the offense to score more points as we go along. Once we start to go against other good teams that have their best weapons, because then you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're still healthy. They still got their weapons. And plus, going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa, we seem to struggle in the hot Florida heat. Tampa's well adjusted to that. We struggle over there. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, technically, that was a free agent signing, but, dude, we came along we made the right signing. But you know where but hey, it's actually, once the Giants decided to pay Daniel Jones that 2023 offseason, that set us up to get Barkley the following season. I mean, I remember it's kind of ironic because one of my supervisors was still at the same job, but who's a Giants fan, thought that offseason they should have paid Saquon. But they went with Daniel Jones instead, and guess what happened the following offseason? We got Saquon. Now he's our guy. Last year he played a key role in us winning that Super Bowl. And so far, you know, he had a touchdown for us in this one. So Saquon Barkley, hey, I'm proud of it. So thank you, Giants, for paying Daniel Jones. And I remember, guess what? I was at work the day that they cut Daniel Jones. And I was the one that actually told the same supervisor, hey, did you see the Giants got rid of Daniel Jones? He's like, what? And he pulled up his phone to look at it, and he's like, see, this is why I wanted them to pay Saquon. Mind you, this was in the middle of last season when we had Saquon under contract, and he was really starting to roll for us. But dude, man, seriously, thank you, Giants, for that one. But see, that's what happens. See, you look at Gettleman versus Howie Roseman. You see the difference between an incompetent GM and a good GM. You see what a difference it makes. I bet you Giants fans would do anything for the old days back. Because prior to Gettleman, they had a good GM that helped them win 2 Super Bowls. They got the right pieces there. They had Coach Coughlin. They had Eli, who in the right situation could deliver. They had good pieces on defense. Michael Strahan, then eventually guys like Justin Tuck, Jason Pierre-Paul. Who was it? Webster, Corey Webster. I mean, they had a solid team. You had Brandon Jacobs on the offense, Victor Cruz. I mean, the Giants at one point had a really good team, but that all fell apart. And now the Eagles got Howie Roseman. Look at where they're at currently. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, who's to me the best number 2 receiver in the NFL. I'll say it. And to their credit, and Devontae Smith came up big today. Came up with a few big catches too. And that's right there a reason why I got Devontae as the best number 2 in the NFL. I'll give him the edge over Jalen Waddle. No offense to Waddle, but I give the slight edge to Devontae because he can still make those plays for you when needed to. And he's a difference maker at that number 2. So I give him props on that one right there. So that's a good one. So that. But yeah, I mean, as far as this week goes, man, the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm happy we beat Kansas City. We can finally shut them up, because I remember one of my co-workers who's a Chiefs fan was bragging about, no, we can't go 0-2. We're not going 0-2 in the Mahomes era. Well, guess what? Just because you've avoided it in the past don't mean it's going to happen again. And in this case, buddy, you're 0-2. It happens. Now, am I saying Kansas City's out? By no means am I counting them out. But they are 0-2, and that does make the road a little bit tougher for them. But like I said, I'm not counting them out. I'm just saying, though, they are 0-2. Not as promising a start as we're used to from Kansas City. I mean, this might be after, 5 Super Bowls in 6 seasons, 3 wins in that stretch. Might be where the wheels kind of come off a little bit. Oh, you best believe they are. Eagles have their number. Guess what? Ever since Taylor and Travis got together, each time we play them, guess who wins? The Philadelphia Eagles. That's right. So that's right. So, Miss Taylor Swift, soon to be Mrs. Taylor Kelsey, or Taylor Swift hyphen Kelsey, whichever one she's going to go with, and Mr. Travis Kelsey. I mean, hey, you got a lot of money, got a lot of success in your respective careers between the two of you, which I'm not a fan of Taylor's music, but to her credit, she's been successful with her audience. She's found ways to stay relevant. I ain't going to take that away. I at least respect it. I got to at least respect it, though. But ultimately, the Eagles have your number when it matters most. So y'all can't say anything bad about us Mr. and Mrs. soon to be Mr. and Mrs. Kelsey, because the Eagles have your number. And Patrick Mahomes, man, let's just put it this way. Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, the only two that have really had your number thus far. Because Tom Brady in that Super Bowl, that Buccaneers team, they actually kind of laid the groundwork for how to beat them in a big game. Because our defense kind of borrowed bits and pieces from what Tampa did to bring the heat, give Mahomes a hard time, watch him fold under pressure. And that's exactly what we did in the Super Bowl. And we kind of did the same today. We got pressure on Mahomes. We made him uncomfortable. He didn't make a lot of great plays. And that's what you got to do right there. You got to get to Mahomes. Put some pressure on him and get to him. Terry's a Cowboys fan coming in on the Eagles fan stream. But I got to respect it, though. But I got to give you guys props, though. That was a good game right there. And Brandon Aubrey, you got yourself a hell of a kicker with Brandon Aubrey. I'll give you that. And actually, yes, I'll admit it. I got Brandon Aubrey as my fantasy kicker. And he delivered for me today. He got me over 20 points as my starting kicker. I give you that. You got a great kicker over there. And with Dak Prescott, look, I'm not sold on him come playoff time until he proves me wrong. But you got yourselves a good regular season quarterback with Dak. To me, I kind of see that Tony Romo bit of, okay, he's got to step up come playoff time and prove me long. I mean, you mean Travis Kelce? I'm assuming you mean Travis because, because Rashid Rice is still suspended. Well, once Worthy comes back, Mahomes is going to have himself a good weapon with Worthy when he recovers. And once Rashid Rice is back from the suspension for the PEDs, he'll be back on the field, and he should be back helping them out as the season goes along. So I'm not counting Kansas City out just yet. Even though they're 0-2, I'm not counting them out. And for the Eagles, man, though, take the win. We're 2-0. But what we got, Tampa Bay next week? In Tampa, that's going to be a game we got to get ready for because Tampa has our number on the road. There's just something about playing them in Florida. They have our number, so we got to be ready for that. No, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's Tampa Bay next week because they have us on the road. Roblo, what's up? What's up? Happy Sunday evening. Hope you guys are enjoying this right here. Talk a little bit of football, man. For the Eagles, and with the Eagles today, I'm just hoping this isn't a 2023 thing. I'm hoping that we don't just keep winning these games in close fashion by week 5 or 6, then we're 5 or 6-0, but have a lot of question marks like we did 2 years ago. I hope it's not that situation. Because like I said, one owner of this local surf shop I visit and from time to time purchase from, when I talk football with him when I was in there last time, we talked about the 2023 and 24 seasons. He said that 2023 team was the worst 10-1 team he ever saw. And I ain't gonna lie, he's right. And in return, I say last season, the Eagles were the best 2-2 team I ever saw. That started off 2-2, but ended up finishing off going 14-3 and winning the Super Bowl. So, hey, sometimes you might get those really bad. Hey, what's I just saw an Eagles fan. An Eagles jersey. But hey, sometimes, one of those, but hey, hopefully this isn't that 2023 season all over again. But hey, remember last year we kind of started off a little sluggish early and we got better as the season went along. We played stronger. But you know what part of that is too? Because a lot of times players don't play their guys in preseason. What happens is it takes a few weeks to get back in football rhythm. It takes time to get the chemistry back up when you don't play during preseason. And I think we're seeing that again with the Eagles here because this is the third straight season. We're starting off. We're not fully at our best necessarily. But it is only the second week of the season. I'll give it time. And remember last year it took a few weeks to get it together. But I'm just, I'm hoping this isn't 2023 because we saw how that ended. But hey, it's still early because, and the thing is with the Eagles, anytime they're winning late in the game, I don't trust them to close the game. I was getting a little worried when it was 20-17. I'm like, oh no, are we going to close this one out? Are we going to close it out? But then on that final drive, we converted a few third downs. We kept the drive going, and guess what? Ultimately, guess what? We ended up winning that game, bro. We ended up winning that game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We went in there. We did what we needed to do, and we got the fucking win. And we ran out the clock perfectly. So I'm glad we were able to close out, run the clock out, get it to under 2 minutes, get ourselves in position where we could run out the clock without giving Kansas City the ball back and giving them time to march downfield. Because we've seen the last couple seasons, giving a team the ball late when it's close doesn't always go in our favor. Remember Seattle Monday night 2 years ago? Remember Arizona New Year's Eve 2 years ago? Remember Atlanta week 2 Monday night last year? I remember the Rams, even though we held them off in the snow game, they almost got to us. It was that one Jalen Carter sack that, quite frankly, saved that season and helped save the Super Bowl run. So when it was late in the game, I'm thinking, oh, don't give Kansas City the ball back. Don't give Kansas City the ball back, because we know how that usually works out for the Eagles late in the game with the lead when you give the team the ball. So I was really like hoping at the end, don't give Kansas City the ball back. Even those third down, fourth downs where we converted on that final drive to run out the clock, I was getting a little worried. I'm like, oh, please don't let it happen. Please don't let it happen. Jarrell, dude. With all due respect, I kind of had a feeling Indianapolis was going to get the upset. I even picked them. With all due respect, man. But to be fair, it's still early in the season. At least with you guys, your offense looked better this week. So that at least gives you guys hopes that Bo Nix will come back to rookie form. And you can find ways to win games as the season goes along, man. So even though you lost today, to be fair, it's still early in the season. You still 1-1. There's plenty of time. And you're still, your offense looked better this week. So at least there's still some potential for Bo Nix to get back to rookie form and help you guys win games as the season goes along. So, sorry you guys lost, but at the same time, it's not all bad. There's still hope for you guys. Oh, and you got the Chargers next week. That'll be an interesting game. I'm still curious how that's going to pan out. We got to see what the Chargers do. So, yeah, we got to see. So I'm curious, Chargers play the Raiders tomorrow night. That'll give you an opportunity to watch the game to scout, to get you and give your team a chance to scout for week 3. But that should be an interesting matchup. We still got to wait. Chargers, I think they're going to beat the Raiders, but we still got to wait and see what happens. Anything can happen in football. We got to wait. Oh, man, this is what's fun about these impromptu streams, man. We get fans from all over the place coming in, bro. You get Bronco fans, Niner fans, Cowboy fans, Eagle fans, of course. We get everyone in on these actions. And speaking of the Broncos, man, we play you guys later in the season. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out, because usually when we play, usually the team who wins by blowout. Like, I think really since 2005, it's been like blowout wins for each team. Remember, you guys blew us out in 2005 with Jake Plummer. When Mike Shanahan was still the coach, we blew you out in 2009 in Brian Dawkins' return. You blew us out in 2013 with Peyton. We blew you out 2017 during the year of our first Super Bowl. Then we blew you out in 2021. So usually our games end up being blowouts in favor of the winners. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen, Jarrell, when we get you guys later this season. Hold on a second. What was it? E. Perry, only good thing about the Cowboys is their cheerleaders, am I right? And to be fair, Brandon Aubrey, because he had himself a really good game. But oh boy, I'm not ready for that one. Yeah. You still got a ways to go before you get to us, man. But we're going to have to see how it plays out before then, man, because anything could happen. Who knows? We could come into the game banged up. or both teams could come into the game banged up, or one team could come in healthy, the other could come in banged up. So we still have to wait and see. Anything can happen, like I said, in football. But we got a long ways to go for them. Like I said, you guys still got to get the Chargers next week. We got to get ready for Tampa Bay. And speaking of Tampa Bay, they play tomorrow night too. Who do they play against? I think, is it an AFC team? No, I think it is an AFC team that we play. I think you got Tampa plays an AFC team too. So both our respective teams' opponents for week 3 play tomorrow night. So that's an interesting one there. We don't have to see how that pans out. But hey, man. But it's still early in the NFL season, so anything can happen. We still got to see who's the most durable teams. Maybe certain players get better as the season goes along. Maybe new coaches start to get adjusted with their new teams and they start to win more games as the season goes along. I mean, really, anything can happen, bro. It's still early in the season. I mean, yes, what happens now, who's 1-0 or who's 1-1, 2-0, 0-2 is not going to matter come October into November. It'll be a different game by then. You could have, I don't know, maybe Jackson Dart could be the star of the Giants, and maybe they have some promise. Maybe not. I mean, maybe the Broncos are rolling by that point. I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe the Commanders are really rolling and looking like the class of the NFC. I mean, anything could happen by the time we get to, say, November. Anything could happen. So it's still very early in the season. We don't know what's going to happen as time goes. Oh, Pat Surtain got injured. What happened? Oh, wait, didn't he get hurt week 1 again? Bro, yeah, because that's a huge loss for your secondary there. He's been in the main cases that's held that thing together, or said referring to the secondary, for the last couple of years now. As far as the secondary, oh, he was limping, yeah. As far as yeah, so you got those guys. As far as secondary goes, we're still on the subject. Quick thought. Andrew Mukuba, good job by him. Getting an interception, getting a pass deflection, getting a QB hit. He was really playing it. He's really showing some hope and promise. I feel like Mukuba's one of those guys, the more time he gets throughout the season, he's really going to play good. So you got him there. Adoree Jackson, I'm not sold on him as the long-term option. He's a guy you could inevitably get rid of as time goes along. I mean, I'm thinking, so yeah, I mean, secondary goes, though. I'll ask you, Jarrell, how do you feel about your secondary with Pat Surtain not being in the mix, or your defense in general? Since you're the Broncos fan, I'll leave that answer to you to decide. We're still on the subject of secondaries. And Jarrell said weak. You're not sold on your secondary without Surtain. Ooh. Yeah, because like I said, he's the guy who's he's been holding the defense down together for the past couple years now. He's been the bright spot. Even during the rebuild when you guys were kind of mediocre, Pat Surtain was the one bright spot through the entire period. And last year you finally made the playoffs for the first time. And now, who knows? We'll have to see from there where it goes, but yeah, Eagles and Broncos, man, remember, yeah, we got that on the schedule this year. So we'll have to see what happens by the time it goes down. And will it be another blowout, or will we maybe have a competitive game with you guys, which we haven't really had in a while, because usually when we play, it's usually a blowout. Like I said, especially recent history, it's probably been a long time. It's been a long time since Eagles and Broncos have actually had a good game against each other. Usually it's a blowout and it's a good game for whoever's team ends up winning in their fan base. But hey, we're going to have to see on that one. We're still a whiles away from that game, so... Oh, your dad's an Eagles fan. Okay, so I see... It's an interesting dynamic there, but hey... I mean, a lot of us have that. But here's an interesting one. My parents... Mom's a Giants fan, Dad an Eagles fan. Yeah, and obviously I ended up taking, team-wise, my dad's side and being a Philly fan. So, yeah, so, but I'm happy about it, though. It actually all worked out for the better. Yeah, early in my childhood, I had to sit through the 2 Giants Super Bowl wins, but now it's all working out for the better. Eagles have 2 rings through my lifetime. I've gotten to see 4 Super Bowl appearances in my lifetime and 2 wins, so I'm more content with the overall body of work through my lifetime with the Eagles. Yes, sir, that's right. We did your boys a favor by winning against Kansas City, knock them down to 0-2. So yeah, I'm happy about it. And like I said, it wasn't pretty, but the Eagles found a way to win. Jalen Hurts, he didn't make a foolish mistakes that cost the team the game. They get good enough to win, and that's really what matters the most. Devontae Smith, to me, proved the best number 2 receiver in the NFL currently, even over Jalen Waddle. And today proved it. He had himself a few nice receptions. And the Eagles, did what they had to. Saquon had himself. He didn't have himself a great game, but he was good enough to help in the offense. And early on in the regular season, you got to take the wins any way you get them. I mean, as long as you're not winning ugly by week 5, 6, or 7 like we were 2 years ago, I'm content. We'll take the wins now when we have them. But our defense really did good today. I'm proud of it. We got pressure on Mahomes, and like I said, we've seen it. We saw it today. We saw it in last year's Super Bowl. Hell, we saw it when Tampa beat him during the COVID Super Bowl. If you get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, that's the way to beat Kansas City. You make him fold under pressure. He doesn't make a lot of smart decisions. That's what happened today. That's what happened in the 2 Super Bowls they lost. And the Eagles defense did what it needed to. And like I said, I'm really impressed. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Adoree Jackson, I feel he's replaceable in the long term. And to be real, the reason Adoree Jackson's got the starting job is because Kelee Ringo, who was supposed to be the number 2, did not deliver in preseason. And that's why ultimately Adoree Jackson got the start as number 2. He was mainly brought in to be competition and brought in to be an emergency starter. And that's kind of what happened. He got the emergency starter role. And now we see what's happening as a result. But that's right, Devin. That's right. 2-0. We're looking good, man. We're really looking crisp right now. But we look crisp on defense. We look great. This one much more improved from last week. Like you saw last week, though, without Jalen Carter, the secondary didn't get a lot of, the defensive line didn't get a lot of pressure on Dak, and that allowed them to have a good first half against us. And plus, we got the benefit of CeeDee Lamb dropping a few passes that could have changed the outcome. So that also helped out too. I'm not taking that away. And then, but it's like I said, we also had the benefit of Kansas City missing its 2 main receiver. And yep, you are loved. Yeah. Yep, I can tell, yeah. Especially with these live streams I do, you guys love when I come. I love doing these live because especially with football, I get a lot of people coming in. Just come on here, give my thoughts, get the chat going. And it's an awesome time, man. Defense is fine. Vic's going to work out the kinks. But the offense needs, definitely. Kevin Patullo needs to work on the offense. Yeah, definitely. But to be fair with Patullo, this is his first time in this role, though, too. So I'm not going to begrudge him. Like I said, this is his first time as an offensive coordinator. It might take a few weeks, though, too. So I'm not holding it against him yet. We'll see where he's at by, say, week 5 and week 6. If we're improved by then, hey, nothing to worry about. But it's still early in the season. I'll give it time. We know that where you're at weeks 1 and week 2 as a team doesn't tell the entire story for the season. But at the same time, we're 2-0. We should be optimistic. Only thing about this that might be concerning is the fact we've been down this road. We're 2-0. We have a late season collapse. I'm not saying it's going to happen again. I'm just saying we know that a 2-0 start doesn't automatically mean we're going to finish great. But it is early in the season. I want to give it time. We know Vic Fangio's doing his thing with the defense. We're looking much better under him than we were with Sean Desai and Matt Patricia. That's for damn sure. And plus, Vic Fangio's style fits perfectly with Philadelphia players. So we got ourselves a hell of a defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator, though, it is his first time. So I'm willing to give it time. Yeah, the passing game didn't look that great, man. We got to find ways to get it together. But we've been down this road before. Last year was mainly the run game that helped us out throughout the season. And then the passing game came on when it mattered most. So I'm not necessarily concerned about that just yet. There's a beautiful shot of the Ocean Casino, Atlantic City in the background. So I'm not worried. I'm going to give it time. I'm going to be patient. I'll see what we do from here. But hey, man, though, hey, we're off to a 2-0 start. So I'll take it, though. I'm going to give this team credit where credit's due. I'm just going to switch. There's a nice shot of the Ferris wheel on Atlantic City Steel Pier. I'm going to show you guys a nice shot before I go while we're live. But yeah, I'm happy about it. Eagles are 2-0. I'll take the W. Fly, Eagles, fly. We got this thing going. Little G Griffin, that's right. 2-0, baby. And there it is, the nice shot of the Ferris wheel on the boardwalk. I'll take it, baby. 2-0. We got the win. Defense is looking good. I'm confident because we got our hands with Vic Fangio, who knows what he's doing with this defense. But yeah, I got to get going, guys. Catch y'all later. Boy Nicky Steve signing off. Peace.